Yeah, the first thing on it is Ben getting with this lady because Rothfuss, as he's wont to do, he writes it in a way where he gives plausible explanation on the surface, but when you kind of dig in deeper, it leaves a lot of question marks because it's very plausible that he would meet a widow. He gets a nice little young piece, and he would dip out with her because she's got her brewery and he's a brewer. So it makes perfect sense that he would leave the group to get with her.
Yeah,
but
it's
when
like
tied together
perfect.
with everything else, that's what makes it suspicious. That he fucking dipped out right before they get killed. Kavoth almost killed himself not long ago with the stuff he's taught him. Because of the massive hole that Rothfuss left in the book. So there's a lot of reason to doubt Ben and his motives and why he actually left.
For the reader, it feels like it's right after that happened with Kavoth, and it's right before his family dies.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. I know it's not actually, but it feels like that. But it is a perfect trap, or, it's a perfect snare set for Ben. He's a brewer. Nice, like you said, nice, young, sounds attractive, and she has a brewery. All he has to do is run it properly, which she can't do. So, I mean, it's pretty perfect lining all that in together. So, yeah, it's a great alibi, but situationally, in terms of the, chronological timing of this, it's very suspicious.
Yeah, my first time going through, I definitely did not pick up on the suspicious part. I was pissed off that Abenthy was, discontinuing his teachings. On a second read through, though, I did pick up that Kavoth specifically calls it a trap. Did you guys catch that? He says he calls it the perfect trap for Ben, and it's the same reasons why you said, Tim. But he actually calls it a trap.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, and
well,
I think he says like it was a perfect snare or something like that.
Yeah,
but
okay.
It's
that's
but
funny. That's what I was.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's very plausible. It's very plausible that she would come in and this would just be, it's just everything is just a matter of coincidences. It's just the sheer number of coincidences that surround Ben that make me doubt that Rothfuss wrote it in a way where, all these things just, the stars align perfectly where Ben happened to come upon them. Ben was broke and down and out for some reason that we don't know. And he teaches him all these things that are going to send him down a path that's going to change his life, and that he gets out right before the Chandrian come and wipe him out. I mean, it's not right before. I think it's like half a year.
But it feels like that.
Still.
Well, it's interesting. Like Fitz said, on my first read through, I remember it feeling sudden and very surprising. And then, in retrospect, he becomes the catalyst. Without Ben, none of this goes where it goes, and without him leaving, none of it goes where it goes. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? If he was there, would it play out differently? Maybe in some way, but I don't think he's wiping out Cinder, and a few others. Especially not with the mighty, great, powerful Grey Dalcinti just taking control over him.
Yeah,
and just wheeled him around like a
Grey Dalcinti.
No. So
he could have got the rest of them, but not old Grey.
No.
So
no, he'd be back there just busting cigs, fucking scaring the shit out of Ben.
Just looking at people. I love that picture. Like he's got a cig between the fingers. He just kind of points at people, points them out. A lot of head nods.
Yeah. Ben calls the name of the wind. He fucking blows it back in his face as he blows out of the puff of a cigarette smoke. Just fucking.
But yeah, but I mean, yeah, I mean, on further read throughs, it is, Ben's, this whole situation is the catalyst. And it does, and we've talked about that, it begs the question of, so who is Ben? What is his background? What is his future? What part does he ultimately play? Because we know what part he plays because of what he builds in, and then what comes because he's gone. It's very, very suspicious.
Yeah, obviously, we'll find out in book 3 because if he comes back, it's only one of two things can happen. It's either just like a reunion and they just kind of come upon each other, or it's going to be a revelation. I mean, it can't be. It's got to be one of those two where it's just like a chance, like, oh shit, Ben, you don't know what the fuck's happened to me, and it's a reunion thing, or it's Ben fucking steps back in at the opportune time to help him do something. But if he's not in the book at all, then we can just kind of fucking toss all this shit away, and Rothfuss just wrote it in a way where there's a lot of reasons to doubt Ben, but we'll never get any answers.
I would guess that Ben is going to play a big part in the turning point of book 3. Seems that way anyway, or make his presence known again. I was thinking about the possibilities, and I can't get far because I don't know a lot of the theories and stuff, but pointing out that Ben put Ben put Kavoth on his ark, towards the university and his learning and everything else. You have to look at it as if you're trying to figure out why he leaves. Is he a good guy or a bad guy? Did he set Kavoth on his ark for nefarious purposes or for heroic purposes? And what that would lead to, I know we've talked about, or at least we talk about in future episodes, but why he would leave could be, one, to stay out of the way of the Chandrian, knowing that they're coming. 2, having known that he put them on the path to the Chandrian. If he did, maybe he mentioned something more than we picked up on when he was talking to Arladin and Kavoth's mom. Anyway, I don't know, guys. Like I said, I don't know a lot of the theories, but the questions bounce around in my head because he leaves so suddenly.
It's interesting that Rothfuss chose to have Kavoth's teacher be somebody that when Kavoth goes to university and drops his name, nobody says anything, right? It's not a guy that like loomed large there or had like a reputation, that at least that didn't come up, That's kind of interesting. That's an interesting choice because then he is more of not suspicious, but like a shadowy figure. We know less about him. We know less about his history, where he's from, why he is where he is. I mean, and that's kind of, again, the part that Dan brought up that's really important to, I think, look at is this, a guy with this much in terms of abilities, what he can offer, what he could do, and then he's just like penniless on the road. Like, what's again, it's all like, what's he doing here?
Yeah,
why
he's
is
not
he
an
here
idiot
now?
either. I mean, it's not like he's a bad, a stupid person, or
well, and it didn't seem like he's running
not
from
creative,
anything either.
or he's got some entrepreneurial aspects to him, like with that it was his whole thing with like getting with the group. He's like, hey, I could fucking.
He offers all these practical. Yeah, he offers all these practical utilities that he can provide for them. So clearly he could do that in all these other different types of capacities, rolling through any town, and probably just plant there and provide all these things. Right, that one town where the Kavoth takes back the two girls. I mean, they had one woman that was actually like a really good, she knew her medical stuff, but that was one person.
Yeah.
I mean, you would have to think there's many towns that Abenthy could just post up in and live the rest of his life out if he wanted to, but instead he's on the road. So that's what I was about to say. Is I don't get the feeling that he's running away from something.
No,
it didn't seem like he was on.
No.
Yeah, it didn't seem like he was hiding. So
yeah,
so you brought up an interesting. You brought up an interesting point, Tim. Though that because I remember being surprised when Kavoth name dropped Abenthy, and nobody knew who he was, or no one acted like they knew who he was.
You assume they know him because otherwise they would have been, like, who the fuck's that dude?
No, but what I find interesting about that is that Rothfuss chose to not have them say anything.
Yeah.
To not, because he keeps that away from us.
They all just rolled their eyes. Oh, that guy. Like, let me guess. He ended up like a bum, just wandering the fucking roads like a fucking jackass.
That answer,
crazy Ben.
That answers all those questions. Let me guess. Like he was like this. He's like no eyebrows.
No eyebrows. No eyebrows, Ben. Yeah, I know. No eyebrows.
Oh yeah, Benny No Brow. Yeah, we know Benny No Brow.